on WOKB, Winter Garden, Orlando.
Hello. Welcome to Real Family Talk. This is your host, Jay Real. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday evening out there, man. It's feeling good and city beautiful right now. It's in that summertime weather where it's hot in the daytime and a decent cool breeze. We're going to call it a decent cool breeze, Jeremy. That's happening at night. So good times, man. I tell you what, I love Orlando weather, man. That's why I won't live anywhere else.
I just love Orlando. Forget the weather.
The weather too, though, brother. The weather's a big part of it. But yeah, man. Excited. Another week, Real Family Talk. Again, this is your host, Jay Real. Hope everybody's having a wonderful time out there. Let me go ahead and welcome. Jeremy's obviously in the building. How you doing tonight, Jeremy?
I'm good. How you doing out there? Lovely, as always. Hope everybody else out there doing good.
Yes. I hope they are too, sir. I hope they are too as well. My guest has arrived in the building. I'll let her get settled here in a moment. We'll talk to her as well. Jeremy, did you see Michael Sam, man? Is he serious, man? Does he really want people to take him seriously and then agreeing to do a documentary with Oprah on the OWN network to document his time as they trying to make the St. Louis Rams?
Well, I don't know if he's necessarily concerned about being taken seriously as opposed to just probably taking advantage of an opportunity. You know, I can't be mad at him for that. You know, I mean, if he had his agent or something went to the network and had this idea for a show and they go produce the show now, you know, I would look one way about that. But, you know, from my understanding, they came to him. Is that correct?
They probably did come to him. But my point would be if, first of all, you're a rookie, number one. So as a rookie, your job is to make the team, keep your head down, if you will, and show on the field that you are prepared to play this game. And how can you do that if you're focused on taping some reality show that you're right? It is a sort of an opportunity to take hold of that initial nature, but come on, man. How many other rookies get documentaries to follow them? Like, come on, you want to be one of the guys or you want to be special? Which one is it?
Well, I would say this. If I was a rookie coming into the NFL and a network came to me and said, hey, we want to document your journey as you try to make this team or just your struggles throughout this. And then they said, we will pay you X and X. And I'm a 7th round draft pick. I got a guaranteed check. And then I get a check I might get. I got to take the guaranteed check. I got to take it.
Not if you're serious, bro.
No, what you mean? No, you know what I'm serious about? I'm serious about living my life and paying bills. So I got to take this guaranteed check. Now, as much as I can, obviously, now I would try to be responsible about it. Go talk to the organization. Tell them, hey, this is what's going on. Maybe we'll put these rules in place. I know you probably don't want the cameras everywhere. I'm sure they don't. It's training camp. You know, most teams, except if you're on Hard Knocks, are very secretive about, everything going on in training camp. And I would respect those rules to the fullest. But outside of that, cut the check. I mean, you talking about a 7th round. You're not talking about a 1st round pick now. You're talking about a 7th round pick. He got no guarantees he coming in now. He got no guarantees. Why would he not take the guaranteed check? That's all I'm saying.
I suppose, brother.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you all doing?
We are good. How are you
Jasmine
doing?
Burney's in the house.
Good. I just want to chime in on this.
Go ahead.
The most I've learned about the 1st round, 7th round is what has just happened here tonight. So, with that said, as a female looking at Michael Sam and the journey that I've already seen so far, I think that the direction that our world is going in is the one that wants to see Michael Sam's life get documented.
Right.
He is a non-traditional football player.
Yeah.
First openly gay man to do this. And after his explosive kiss with his significant other on national television when he found out he was drafted, that sparked curiosity in a lot of people, that intrigued people. It sparked conversation everywhere. And I don't see anything wrong with him filming it. Of course, we're not going to see everything. We may see more of his personal life than we actually do see of the football camp.
Right.
I see nothing wrong with it. Everything is filmed. Everything is on TV. Why not film him? Sports is not a sacred society that we have to keep locked away. Yeah. It's perfectly
not
fine.
anymore.
Yeah, not anymore.
Not anymore.
I'm sorry. I can't take you serious, rookie. When you got cameras following you,
this
and ain't cameras following ain't nobody else. Come on, man. I can't.
Ocho Cinco.
I can't.
Was on a reality show.
Not during the season.
This is true.
Not when he was trying to make the team, because he hasn't even proved he's worthy enough to even play in the NFL. I'm sorry.
All the more reason.
If I was a player on that team, I'd look at give him the side eye. That's just
you gonna get the side eye anyway. So give me the side eye with my check.
Yeah, this is true.
That's all I'm saying. Talking about seventh. I keep saying seventh round. There's no guarantees here. Most seventh round players don't make the team. That's just how it is. So in saying that, get the guaranteed money. Is all I'm saying. You got to take it.
I'd agree. And
if the organization has no problem with it.
Which they did, which is why it's being shut down.
Oh, well, exactly. So, I mean, from that standpoint, then, you got to make the arrangements. Maybe you can, once you go to, now, if he makes it to training camp, I know once you do that, it's probably going to be no cameras. When they locked away them 4 weeks or however long it is, it's about a month or so, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they not. But outside of that, he still be able to step outside, probably make a phone call, whatever the case may be. We can film the phone call. Right after they break camp, if he makes the team, after they break camp, after the second preseason game or so, if he's still around, maybe they can do that.
We'll see, man. I have a feeling that they're going to shut them out completely, though, and not let any cameras in during this initial trial period that he's trying to make the team throughout training camp, preseason, and whatnot, man. But come on.
I'm curious to see what his life is like. Being an openly gay football player going into this world, I doubt there are going to be any interviews with people saying anything negative or bad about him. But
it's 2014. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
You can't be real on the air, if you will. That's not allowed in today's day and age anymore, Ms. Burney.
Free speech is not free.
No, it is not. No, it is not. We're going to talk about that later too.
Okay.
But Miss Burney's in the house. She came to talk to me about some local things happening in the city here. So talk to me, Miss Burney. What's going on?
How? Well, first of all, where's the rest of the crew tonight?
The crew is they're out. Some are sick and
okay. Well, cool. So it's just
doctor's
you and I tonight.
Yeah.
All right. I was looking for my reinforcement and my girl Phyllis. Okay. Well, the exciting news that everyone in the city of Orlando, the county of Orange, the state of Florida, I even saw it in the Chicago Tribune today. They are talking about Val Demings ending her race for Orange County mayor against current mayor Teresa Jacobs.
Okay.
As of yesterday, she put out a statement yesterday morning stating that this was not the best fit for her and made the decision to remove herself from the race. Mm-hmm. Thanked all of her supporters, her contributors, her staff, and she exited the race.
She did.
Teresa Jacobs, who seems as though she has a sigh of relief. I read somewhere she has a permanent smile on her face now as a result of Val Demings removing her name from out of the hat and no longer being probably one of the most viable candidates to run against Teresa Jacobs in this upcoming election season. Okay. But Teresa Jacobs has made it clear. She said the campaign isn't over. She still has opponents.
Right.
Despite what we may think about those individuals, she is still going to run a race, and she is going to take it just as serious as if Val Demings was still in it.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Now, there's been a lot of speculation about why she dropped out. 407-894-1680 is the number. 407-894-1680 is the number. But I mean, is it true? Is it just she decided this wasn't the race for her? I mean, we know. Mm-hmm. Let's see. A couple years ago, right? She tried to run for Congress.
Correct. Against
Dan Webster. That was not successful. Mm-hmm. I was reading some articles, and some of the polls, at least at this point, were suggesting that she was in some polls double digits behind Teresa Jacobs in order to win, and now. Out of the blue, because she got in January.
Yeah.
And then we're now May, 5 months away. So we really haven't even hit the hard campaign season yet.
I know.
It just seems a little.
Well,
is there a long game here on her part, perhaps?
I would say this: Val Demings has not come as far as she has without being strategic, without being bright, without being smart about her decision making. It's obvious that she has. We just aren't privy to the details of it. And you're right, there are tons of speculations around this. One of the most recent as of today is, will she be Governor Charlie Crist, candidate for governor again, his running mate? Yes, that is one of the stories that's swirling around. But I would say don't rule it out. Anything is possible because no one saw this happening. Wow. Don't rule it out. I would just, personally, I don't like the black woman for lieutenant governor trend. I don't think that is fair. But if that is what they choose to do, then we should support whoever we feel should be running in that seat. But again, she is strategic. She has not come as far as she has come without being strategic, without having a plan. So I know that the reason she removed herself from the race is because she seriously has something else up her sleeve that we probably will find out soon rather than later, especially because qualifying for all of the seats ends the week of June 19th. So during that time, final decisions will be made.
Gotcha. And
we'll know then what decisions she plans to make, if she plans to throw her hat in that race with Charlie Crist, or if she decides to, rerun for her seat rerun for the seat that she was unsuccessful in against Dan Webster. She may not make that decision until next year because she has that time to do so. His seat doesn't go up for re-election again until 2016.
Right.
So there may not be a decision made on her part sooner rather than later. Gotcha. It's just anything could happen at this point.
So if she does decide to run with Charlie Crist, that'll have to be done by June 19th, you say?
The decision, he'll qualify and then... Correct. He'll make the decision to have that lieutenant governor by then. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, was this? I mean, obviously, you're not obviously speaking for her, but just from your watching Orange County politics, we'll say, I think you can at least speak that you watch Orange County politics.
Absolutely.
Was this ultimately her goal, basically, to kind of leave that and then find her way into a bigger political role? Has this been, because that seems like everything that she's doing now seems like, okay, where can I fit in politically on the Democratic side, of course, and it seems like there's always a group of people that are pushing her, but
know this: anyone who runs for office who is smart always has a plan. And that plan is either to land them in a seat that they are currently seeking and don't ever want to remove themselves from, or it is to get them a stepping stone to something greater and something better. It does not mean that the seat that they are currently running in is any less than what they aspire to do. But any good candidate has a plan, and they know that there are certain stepping stones that they need to take in order to get to the final landing spot that they really want to be in. So I don't think that she is trying to figure out what's the best fit. I know that she has thought about all of that during the time prior to the time that she made the decision to come out and run for mayor. And I honestly think an opportunity has presented itself, and this is speculation also. I just think an opportunity that has presented itself to her that is just hard to resist, because I don't think that she would put herself through any scrutiny or or reserve herself or her time or the efforts that she's put in so far in this mayoral race to just disappear and not, run ever again. Every candidate, good qualified candidate, has a plan, and sometimes that plan detours you. That there are other things that come along, but I do know that she probably had an opportunity of a lifetime
to cause her to get out of this race.
Yeah,
right.
And a part of that strategy too, polling. Those are things to pay attention to, and not to say that she couldn't change that polling. Or not to say that other polling didn't show that she was a favorable candidate, but those are indicators, and that may have helped her make this decision that she made.
Gotcha. Because the last thing you want to do is lose your first 2 elections, right? It's not a good look.
No.
It's not a good look, right?
It's not, but it's not detrimental. I know a woman in St. Pete who ran 3 times, and on her 4th time, she won. But she had a few other barriers. Like, she was first openly gay LGBT, commissioner.
Gotcha.
So, it's not the worst thing.
All right. Well, I'm curious to see. I mean, she's clearly, like I said, she's clearly trying to find her footing in this political world, and curious to see, man. I just to see what she does. It'll be nice from a culture perspective, right? Black woman winning political races, mayor, Orange County mayor potentially. Well, not this time. Potentially.
Well, don't discount the other women who have won races.
Just saying, it'll be interesting to see. We'll see, man. But the like I said, the thing that I see that's consistent is she certainly has a base of people that love her.
Yes.
But it seems like getting over that hump of, getting to the actual table, if you will, seems to be at issue right now. So she's got to figure that out. And I heard money-wise, they were doing pretty well.
They were doing okay.
They were doing pretty well. They were competing money-wise, I heard.
Well, yeah, she raised $200,000 plus to Teresa Jacobs $600,000. But Teresa's been in much longer than she has. But in the amount of time that she's been in the race, that is
5
remarkable.
Months, that's like almost $50,000.
Yeah, that is remarkable, especially for an African American candidate, who historically are candidates who are not known to be able to raise tons of money. But this was a rather serious seat that individuals really felt strongly about, and they were going to put the money to fund her.
All right. We'll see what happens, man. Orange County politics, man.
Orange County politics.
Anything else interesting happening in Orange County politics right now? Anything across the city that we need to be aware of?
Well, I received an interesting email this past weekend.
Okay.
From a source titled District 6 Watchdog. So this person is anonymous. I have no idea if I haven't been able to fact find or verify, but as you all know, that there is an Orange County Commission District 6 race taking place, and there are currently 6 candidates in that race. It is extremely crowded. It's an open seat, and it is Tiffany Moore Russell's current seat. So she is terming out and is done, and there are 6 people vying to replace her.
Right.
One of those 6 individuals is her former aide, Roberta Walton, who is running for the seat. And the reason I mentioned her particularly is because this email was in relation to her financial report that she put out in, I want to say, January. On that financial report, it appears as though she used campaign funds to pay for a property manager for a home that she currently lives in as a result of a foreclosure. And candidate treasurer handbook clearly states that you cannot use contributions from your campaign to fund your own personal housing expenses or that of a spouse. So that is, at the least or bare minimum, a violation of campaign rules and laws.
Okay.
And in this email, it was a 20-page document that shows all of the court documents that document her foreclosure, her bankruptcy. It also documented, what else did it have? It had receipts of payments. It also showed screenshots of the property appraisers where it showed that the check she wrote from her campaign account to the property manager, it showed proof that the property owner was on her financial report. So it brings
a lot of details.
There are a lot of details that are in question right now. And it just also goes back to something that she's already admitted to, and that was check fraud back when she was much younger. She did an interview with OrlandoPolitics.com stating that she cashed fraudulent checks and to the tune of $26,000. And at that particular point, at that particular point, and that number decided that that was wrong and she shouldn't do it. And
after 26,000,
yeah,
it's like, ooh, 26,000.
That's a long way to go. You figure out something wrong.
I can't do this no more.
I know, and so she admitted to stating that it was something that she didn't mean to do. It was wrong, and she paid the money back, paid her fines, things of that nature, learned her lesson. But then this comes up. So I am going to be watching this carefully to see how it unfolds. Not only was I BCC'd on the email, but it was CC'd to a lot of media individuals here in Orlando. So if it goes beyond the email, then that will be interesting to see how it plays out and how voters respond to something like that.
Well, I mean, if you look at District 5, voters are at least willing to overlook some past discretions if they think you might be the better person for the job. So it certainly has happened.
Well, if that discretion just happened 5 months ago, it's kind of hard to overlook. I don't think that Regina Hill's last offense was 5 months prior to her running for office. But
that is a little different.
That is a little different. But, hey, man, you never know what people are thinking, man.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know what people are thinking.
You're right.
So it'll be interesting. But when you have 20 pages of actual documents, I'm not saying it's true.
But these are court documents.
But that's a paper trail. I'm not saying it's true, but that is quite the paper trail. Yeah. Quite the interesting paper trail, too. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, but District 6 is crowded, man.
It is.
Very, very crowded. We'll see what happens in District 6. That comes up August 26th, right?
That is correct.
They'll have to narrow it down to 2 people.
Correct. That is
correct. And then those 2 people will go forth, right?
You're right.
Whew. August 26th, man. You gotta check out. Go to the what is it? The Orange County. If you go to Supervisor of Elections, yes,
OCFelections.com.
Yeah, you can go find out all about what's happening on August 26th. Who you can vote for the different districts. There's some Congress seats available as well. State Congress seats available as well. So. Go check that out, man. Geraldine Thompson's back. She's back.
Yes, Senator Thompson is
back. You got to decide, do you want Geraldine Thompson or Gary Siplin? Yeah. Sip, they call him. You told me, right, Jeremy? They call him Sip?
Sip.
Oh, my goodness.
So you got to decide if you want Sip or Geraldine Thompson on the Democratic side.
Yeah.
And her long-term nemesis, he's out there on the Republican side.
Yeah.
Which is Fritz. I remember the first name. Fritz Said. Yeah, man, he's back.
Yes.
Every time I see it. Every time.
It doesn't matter what race she's in. He is going to get in. Papers filed and ready to go.
He's going to take it down, he says.
Yeah.
One of these days, he says. One of these days, man. But all right, man. We'll keep watching and see what's happening, man.
Good stuff.
With Orange County politics, man.
Yeah.
Keeping it moving a little bit here. So there was a question I wanted to pose. We were talking about free speech, how free speech isn't free anymore.
Nope.
Here's the question, though. Personally, I really do have a problem with the idea that what you say or whatever your opinions are in private, that they will now, or they now, there's a trend now to have those things affect your business life, your professional life. So first question is that right? Should it be that way? Should what you believe personally or what you say publicly to support, you give money to X cause or whatever the case may be, is it right that now is a representation of you, and now if I disagree with it professionally, you are now affected by it? Is that right? Should it be that way?
No, I don't. I think that is completely wrong. Like I said before, freedom of speech is not free anymore. But if what you're doing to help a cause that you truly believe in is not hurting or harming, disrespecting or offending anyone, or yourself for that matter, because what you may believe in, somebody else may not. And they may be offended by it, as an individual. I don't think that should affect you. That is their personal issue. That is their problem. Even if it is an individual or a group of people, that is a problem that you all need to deal with. If I want to give my money to, SPCA or UNCF or I don't support PETA, I like chicken. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's my personal decision. I've been living this life for, as long as I can think of. The things that I've gone through have shaped the way that I think. Why should it matter what I support, what my money goes to? As long as I am respectful in my beliefs and, respect other individuals and that I don't feel disrespected, I see nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. You going to say something, Jeremy?
I think it kind of just depends, honestly. In regards to personal opinions, in that regard, that's why you really should always keep them to yourself, regardless. It's like the old saying goes, at work you don't discuss religion and politics. Just keep it to yourself. Now, as far as causes you support, I don't think that should affect. I think everybody should have a good understanding that, well, everything I support financially with my money, one, it is my business because it's my money. And number two, I choose to support what I want to. Why should that affect you? Like you were saying, Ms. Burney, why should it matter? Mm-hmm. I'm not bothering anybody by putting my money behind, whatever.
Where does this trend come? Because that's the new trend. If I disagree with what you're doing, then I have a right to step up.
The trend has been around. It's called power. Exercising power, exercising control, I guess it would be a better word.
What I think in the last 5 years, though, whereas people might have disagreed, in the last 5 years, people are literally losing their jobs. I mean, you have, the whole strike against Chick-fil-A, in the last few years. And this whole thing, just because the owner, believes that marriage is between a man and woman. So now we're going to strike against Chick-fil-A. Like, really?
But you knew it was a Christian company when you started purchasing their food.
What did you think? It's like,
why do you think they closed on Sunday?
They're the only ones closed on Sundays. Like, what did you think they were going to support?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they was going to come out, let them get married. Come on now. That don't make no sense.
You had the CEO recently of the software company that basically was forced to resign for basically some of the same reasons. It's like, where is this coming from? Like, what kind of society do we live in where what I think or say privately now affects me professionally? Like, where do we get the gall to do that to these people? Even I don't like what Donald Sterling said. I think he's an idiot. But honestly, I don't think he should lose the team because he said it. That's his team. He paid money for that team. He supports that team, whatever the case may be. But hey, it is what it is, man.
Not only that, though, he was saying that in the privacy of his own home. If I walked up into some of these homes today, some of those same things that this man was saying,
or worse,
black folks are saying in their own homes,
Yep.
He was saying that in the comfort of his own home. I am not offended by that. But then when he had an opportunity to explain himself.
That's what he thinks. Yeah.
That is what.
That's
now,
what
sir.
You got to own it. You got to own it.
Yeah.
You caught, just own it.
Oh, he owned it, signed and sealed it too.
Yeah, it's like
he owned that and admitted some other stuff he wasn't supposed to say.
I know, right? Just like sometimes you're just talking too much. But
yeah, he definitely did talk too much.
In the sense, I am with you. It was a personal recorded conversation, but that's why you can't be messing. You got too much to lose.
Yeah.
And I think the reason, because it's too much effect. And when you was getting back to the control, and then on that level, money, power, it's too much connected to him, where they can't just. Yeah, it's personal. It's just too much connected to him because the business he's in is all about image. It's all about image. So they couldn't just sit back and say, well, free speech. It's your personal opinion. They can't do that. It's too much connected to them. It's too much corporate dollars tied in with them.
But then that crushes the enterprising spirit of individuals. You want to own a corporation or a business, and you want to empower people to make their own money because you've been able and afforded to do this. But because you feel a certain way from your employees or from some of the people that you work with and help make your decisions, doesn't mean that you should lose everything. It means you should be able to agree to disagree.
Yeah, but he's not. Come on now, he's not losing everything.
Oh no, not with Sterling, but with other
individuals. I understand, but I think I would say this. I think it should be industry specific. He is in a public entertainment industry, which with too many corporate dollars tied in to how he makes his money. Now, if it's something private, now I don't necessarily agree when you talk about a software company. That's not necessarily a public institution where everybody's like, oh yeah, that's the CEO, or oh yeah, his engineer is great. It's like no one really cares, to be honest with you. They just want their stuff working right. But like when you're talking about entertainment, anything like a public figure, anything tied to a public figure, I can see why people would be hesitant and they would step back and say, okay, no, we can't deal with him. Because it's not just your money, now you're affecting my money too.
You're right.
I hear you, man, but I think it's a slippery slope.
It is.
It's a very slippery slope.
Much is.
And it seems like the further and further we move into 2014, 15, 16, and the development of all of the social media that exists today,
that's the issue.
We're losing our ability to speak. Essentially, is how I feel. Like you can't say anything that you're afraid, or I should say, if you say something that somebody else doesn't like, all of a sudden now you're put in jeopardy based on your ability to say and have free speech, if you will, which to me is absolutely ridiculous, man. Do we live in a country where I'm able to say what I want to say?
No.
Or do we live in a country where everything I say needs to be approved by somebody else in order for it to be okay? What happened to the Constitution?
It's funny you say that, though. It's funny you say that because the only people who are protected by the Constitution are the ones who are currently writing laws associated to the Constitution or by the Constitution. Politicians have opinions and ideas and bills that are different from that of individuals that they may represent or communities that they come from that are directly targeting people because of their rights, because of their religion, because of their freedoms. And they're protected. We can't do anything to these people. We can't put them out of their job. We can't unelect them. We can't do any of that. They are safe and sound, and they're doing it through the form of bills every single day. They are the ones who are, they are in a sense a protected class, if you will. Now, don't let them talk about race, but they can write a bill that disenfranchises people of color.
Right.
And that is how they are protected. So
they do that? There's a bill that disenfranchises a race.
Don't get us started.
Yeah, don't get us started.
I'm just asking the question. 407-894-1680 is the number. 407-894-1680 is the number. Like I said, I'm disappointed in the road that we're headed down. Again, you had a really kind of, to me, when it kind of really kind of brought to light was when you had Don Imus and his situation, which again, silly comment, but do I think he should have lost his job? Of course not. You listen to the man talk, it is not out of the realm.
Not shocking.
It's not really shocking. So, but that's the trend that we're in. And it really just saddens me that, you can't talk anymore. You can't talk. You can't believe what you want to believe. It's like you look at what's happening across the country, different states. Obviously more and more states are approving gay marriage. More and more of these, what's the word I'm looking for? More of these challenges against gay marriage being approved in states are being eroded. We had, I believe, just about 3 in the last week where judges shot down any kind of bans on gay marriage, and now gay marriage is allowed in that particular state. So again, it's like we're losing our freedom to speak our minds. I almost feel like there's going to come a point where even within the church, you're not even going to be able to say anything negative about gay marriage, and pastors are going to start seeing repercussions because in their churches, which, I know very few pastors that will ever say gay marriage is okay. So, but it's going to get to that point. It's going to get to that point where even they're not allowed to speak what they believe to be in the Bible. And, at some point they're going to start calling on Christians as a whole. Christians are bad because they're saying that gay marriage shouldn't be allowed. And it's like, Dude, this is a free country.
Yeah. Well, let me speak on that, though.
I need to believe what I want to believe.
Think about it, though. Gay rights has surpassed, and I think we had this conversation some time ago, the gay rights activists have surpassed individuals and other organizations in their movements by years. The Christian community, black pastors, not just black pastors, the faith-based community needs to rise up and be just as vocal as the LGBTQ community. There is nothing stopping them from speaking their voices. There's nothing stopping them from sharing their opinions. Right. Your pews are packed on Sunday for a reason. Because people are there and because they want to hear what you have to say. They're giving you money, paying their tithes, and they're offering for a reason. You have power. Use it. Rise up. You have that ability. Exercise it. And if you don't know how, find the resources to do that, because that's what the LGBT community did. They found the resources, they figured it out, they wrote bills, and they're taking over every state. And they aren't stopping.
No, they ain't playing. They ain't playing at all.
All they're doing is recognizing, equality and getting rights for individuals and their spouses. We don't know what's next for them, but they got a plan.
Yeah,
I'm sure they do.
I think that's the thing. And they're united.
Yeah.
And even bigger, they write checks.
Correct.
Even bigger, they write checks.
You never can discount that.
They write checks.
But we're writing checks too. The faith-based community is too.
Yeah, but they're writing them to the church, not to the cause.
And they should hold the church accountable.
They're writing them to the church, not to the cause. And churches, I'm not saying all churches don't step up to the cause, but most churches don't step up to the cause, not financially anyway.
Yeah. No, you're right. But if your faith isn't something that you feel like you need to be fighting for, then why are you there? Yeah. And I don't want to step on folks' toes.
That's true.
Oh, don't step on them toes. 407-894-1680.
They get their feet out the aisle.
407-894-1680.
Come on. Step on.
Yeah, it's but like I said, that whole gay marriage thing and how it's just sweeping the country in approvals, and then the challenges being overturned. It's pretty much precedent now that any challenge you put up towards it is going to fail almost. That seems to be that's the trend. So that it's coming to every state across America. Within the next 5 years, I'd imagine almost every state will have a gay marriage bill that was approved by the by that particular state's residents, if you will. I saw a poll that said 55% of Americans now believe gays should be allowed to be married. So it's coming. It's coming, and if you're fighting against it, now is the time to step up, because if you don't step up now, it's coming. It's coming. And then it's going to get to that point where, again, once it gets approved and if 50 states have it, if you're that person that is ready to stand your ground, if you will, and speak up what you think about it, watch out, because they're going to be coming for you too. They're going to be coming for you too, and your right to free speech is going to be infringed upon, and you're going to be the next evil person out there. Which, again, whatever. Do I believe it's right? No. Do I care if you do it? No. But it is what it is. But I still believe you had a right to say that. Yeah. And that's kind of where I where I take a step back and go, yeah.
I would say now that is the funny thing when you talk about the free speech. How come everybody has a problem with what you do or say when it goes against what they think?
Yeah, and that's it. As long as you're agreeing with them, then they're cool. But the moment you step outside of that box, it's a problem.
And they come at you with a vengeance.
They come at you with a vengeance, man. America, man.
Yeah.
Get over it, man. It's sort of almost that repercussion of sort of the rallying that Al Sharpton tries to do, and different companies don't kind of sway outside that realm, and different things of that nature. And so now other communities are picking up on it. The difference is they support. They support. We got a caller. How you doing tonight, Ship?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I'm doing all right, man. What you got to say tonight, man?
Oh, man, y'all sound good, man. Y'all sound good. I'm one of those kind of guys that you said 55% of poll is for gay rights or whatever. They ain't nobody asked me yet, so I'll be 56%. Yeah, my thing is, man, and you just said something kind of. I wanted to ask you, when you said it doesn't really matter to you one way or the other. Do you think it's right? No, but does it matter to you? No, and that's how I feel. I'm be honest with you. That's how I feel. And when you say that, then it's like, why even make a fuss about it if it doesn't bother you one way or the other? You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I just feel like, man, it's just something that has to happen. I think it's something that has to take place. I know the Christian community, they're not for it or whatever. But I just think, man, it just when I just think you have to be fair. You know what I'm saying? We don't know why they're gay. We don't know why they, are the way they are, whatever. But the thing is, to me, you have to live. They have to love. You have to love them. You gotta live with them and just believe that, it's gonna happen. I'm just saying it's gonna happen. And the social media thing, I was listening to the young lady. She said that that it's one of those things where if you're gonna take a stand on it or whatever, you need to take a stand. But the social media part of it is what the LGBT, they embraced it and they used it to their power. They used it to get their cause to the forefront. And she just like she said, they've passed these different groups by leaps and bounds in just a matter of time. I mean, they took it and ran with it full steam. And look at where they are right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I said, and they're continuing to make strides. I only bring it up because, just to answer your question, Ship, I bring it up because I know that it's an issue for a lot of people. That's why I bring it up. Like I said, for me, I again, if you ask me, are they sinning? I'm gonna tell you yes. But do I think they had a right to sin? Sure. I got a right to sin if I want to sin, so they got a right to sin too, as far as I'm concerned. So, that's kind of my take on it. But I know it affects a lot of people. A lot of people are really disturbed by it, and so that's why I talk about it. But yeah.
And it's good. And it's good that you do. I went on a rant Sunday. And I got mixed signals about it or whatever. But my thing is, man, I just wish that you don't have to embrace this what their thing is, but I just think we got to all live in this harmony, and we got to just one thing you can't. I mean, like I was saying, 6 or 7 verses of the Bible shouldn't just make us just have this stand to where we just cannot let this happen. I mean, there's 30,000 verses in the Bible. Why do we keep just harping on these 6 or 7? I mean, I know you're saying it's the word or whatever, it's the word and the word don't change and stuff like that. But I just say there's other things that we've Christians have changed in the Bible as far as like women are not supposed to talk in the church and women are not supposed to vote. I learned this weekend because doing my research that slavery was embraced in the Bible and stuff like that. But we had to make a change. I mean, we knew those things were wrong or whatever. We knew those things were wrong in our eyes. You know what I'm saying? But in the Bible, it was okay. To have slavery, it was okay. But it's not, and it's not okay for women to have rights in the church, and we got women preachers all over. So my thing is, don't help. Don't take out the passages to help your cause. The Bible is the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So if it's not right for you to do this thing with the women and the slavery, then don't say it's in the Bible that you're not supposed to be a homosexual. To me, it's the same thing. You know what I mean? You change the way. It just seems like the Christians use the scriptures to benefit them. That's what I say.
There it is. That's what Ship has to say. I tell you, boy, if you said that on Sunday, Ship, I'm sure they ate you alive, man.
I got it. You know what I'm saying? But it's the truth, though. It's the truth. It's the truth. You know what I mean? I mean, when you look at it, when you go and look at those verses and those scriptures and stuff, it says the things that I said, and you know, and it's not one way or the other. If the God said it and it's in the Bible on this particular subject, and it's a sin, then it should be a sin as far as it should be. I'm talking about with the homosexuality, and then when you turn around with the other thing, it's all the same. No sin is bigger than other sin.
Right. All right, man.
That's just where I go with it, bro.
All right, I appreciate it,
Ship. Show, man. I love it.
Thanks,
man.
We appreciate
it, Ship.
Okay, man.
407-894-1680 is the number, 407-894-1680. Just to be fair on that whole slavery idea, you're right. There is slavery in the Bible, but the difference is the form of slavery that we had, of course, in America is what really distinguishes the slavery that they discussed there and slavery that we experienced some 100 years ago or so. That's the biggest difference, because slavery has really, we know slavery has existed throughout the entire world. Mm-hmm. It's the form of slavery that we had that was that really kind of cripples people when you try and make those comparisons. But yeah, man, I appreciate those comments. But yeah, man, Ship does the sports show on Sundays. So
on Sundays, yeah.
If Ship was saying that on Sunday,
you already know he caught it. You already know. He probably heard everything.
I'm sure he did, man.
And I do agree with him on the one point. Sometimes some Christians, they do try to pick and choose in the Bible what they want to follow to the T and what they want to make their own interpretation. And I think that's where a lot of times where as a whole Christians, where we lose our what's the word I'm looking for? I guess authenticity, I was want to say, is because we're as a whole, sometimes we're too hypocritical. We want to stand up on one issue, or we want to be against abortion, but we want to be for the death penalty. Like, that doesn't even make sense. It's like you want to pick and choose, and you can't do that. If you really want to stand a united front, and you really want to have a leg to stand on and on issues, you got to keep it thorough all the way through, and not be wishy-washy with it, not cater it to your own liking, to what you feel like you don't want people bothering you about. Just say that. We all know that happens.
Yeah.
Well, I think you just have to. That goes back to being, true to what the Bible says. That comes from your relationship with God. If your relationship with God is there, then I think you can be consistent. But as people, we're people. The Bible told us we're going to sin, so we're all going to fall short at some point, and that's a part of those shortcomings. But like Ship said, sin is sin. So whatever your sin is what your sin is, and if you ask for forgiveness, you too will be forgiven for that sin. So, but I think that's where we fall. Everybody's not the perfect Christian, even if they say they are. Everybody's not the perfect Christian, because there are none.
Yep.
There are no perfect Christians. So everybody's got their grind that they need to work on, and it is what it is, man. But yeah, it is what it is. Sin is sin. You sinning, but if that's what you want to do, more power to you, man. So, man, I keep it moving here. Another question, man. Did y'all see this story? Sticking with Florida here, where Manatee High School is selling seats to the graduation, front row seats for $200 a seat.
No.
To graduation. You didn't see that?
That's interesting.
Yes. Manatee High School is selling. It says families will have to pay $200 for a bench that seats about 15 people. Tickets went on sale last week, and then actually they sold out. But the idea that you're selling seats at the graduation. Really?
Well, it's New Day Age fundraising.
Yeah.
The Boosters
Exactly.
Club
That's
not the Boosters, probably the PTA said we can come up with a really great idea.
Either that or somebody like, I'm not sitting up in the stands, and I want to make sure I get a front row seat.
True.
Well, I get if you have the money to pay, but I'm just the idea that you're going to pay for a seat at graduation. Graduation for everybody. Now, I did see in the article, all the other seats, you don't have to pay for all the other seats. They're first come, first serve. But just the idea that only an exclusive group of people who can afford to pay $200 to sit down in the front, really? That should be for everybody, man. I mean, there shouldn't be fundraising at graduation.
It should be for the graduates.
It
down front.
Well, they will be down front. The graduates will be, I'm sure. But I mean, come on. $200 a seat?
Yeah, now that's disenfranchisement.
Exactly, that is
Bad.
disenfranchisement.
Because there are families of different socioeconomic statuses who are not going to be able to pay for those seats.
And not only that, they're going to be more proud of their graduates than anybody in there.
Yeah,
that's why they come with the bullhorns and they come with 50 people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can see some people say it's irritating, but I like it actually. You know, when you go to high school graduation, people just going crazy like.
Hey, man, so you're one of those people.
No, I wasn't actually. You know, no, I'm not. I was gonna say I'm one of the few people. I fell asleep at every graduation I went to. What? I'm not the big ceremony guy. Mm-hmm. That's just what it is. Mm-hmm. You know, I got my paper. I'm good on that. But that's just me. But other than that, you know, I like it because I mean, you never know the circumstances. Some people they the first one to graduate, or they're the first one that's going to college after they graduate, and it's an event. So it's celebrated. You know, we can scream at the football game. Why not at the graduation?
Celebrate it. Just don't sell the tickets.
Nah,
exactly. Now, I'm with you on that.
Man.
Nobody's selling the tickets.
Don't sell no tickets to graduation.
That's crazy.
I mean, you're already probably limited on the number of tickets you gave to grads anyway.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Now
that's what I don't like.
Now on top of that, now you
well,
selling
I can't bring my whole
exclusive
family if I
seats
want
in the
to.
front.
Right. I would say as an alternative, give all the families a set amount of tickets. There's all the students a set amount of tickets, and then sell additional tickets. Not reserved seating, but just additional entry tickets if you want to do a fundraiser.
I can see that.
But sell an entire
but not
row.
even too much though, like $5. You know.
Yeah.
Don't try to cut people's head like it's the playoffs. You know. Come on.
You're right.
Because they're paying for parking too, so
exactly. That's to go get you.
And then
you
now you
decide
got
like, hold on
now,
we all riding in the same car.
Yeah.
Because $10 a pop is not. We just get a van and go down there. I'm saying, how much they charge for buses? I get the school bus and pull down.
It's a serious carpool.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just like I said when I saw that story, I was like, wow.
That's crazy.
Charging for graduation.
That's crazy.
$200 too. $200. That's a lot of money for some graduation.
And they sold out. How many rows were there that did they sell?
It didn't say exactly how many rows were there. They just said that there were bench seats down front. That sat 15 people, and so it was $200 per bench, which would seat 15 people. And they say they sold out in 4 hours, but it doesn't say exactly how many benches there actually were.
Wow. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I got to sit all the way in the back because I can't afford to pay $200 a seat. Like,
yeah.
Come on, man. Come on.
Hey, they can have it.
Yeah, they can have that.
Come on, I can't. That just don't make no sense, man. Oh, 10 rows there were. There were 10 rows.
Wow.
10 rows. So they raised, what is that, $2,000. $2,000 on some seats.
What was the graduation at, does it say?
Hold on, I have to read through the article. If you give me a moment, I'll get back to you on that. My reading is, I can read, but
no, it's
a lot of words on a tiny screen.
Where's Manatee at? Is that in
It's Bradenton.
Bradenton, that's what I thought.
Bradenton, Florida, man. Bradenton, Florida. Not too far. Not too far, at least for my job. I'll say that. Go, huh?
I said it's not too far away.
Nah, not too far away. Couple other things that happened. Of course, today the big story was the VA story today. I'm not surprised by the VA story. My dad went to the VA.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying that his wait may not have been what some of these people experienced, but he certainly didn't get in and get out on his appointments.
You know, he had this trick. He would go down there first thing in the morning. He was first thing in the morning. He'd be like, he'd leave the house at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, gosh.
And go down there. That way, he making sure he get taken care of. No problem.
So the thing that's it's disheartening, one, that people, especially in this time of I guess weaning, quote unquote weaning war that we're in, that these people are down here waiting 2 weeks, a year, just to get in and see some doctors. Like, come on, man. Their lives that they spent in the 2 to 3 years that a lot of these people spent in the desert and the mountains. It's got to be worth more than that, man.
I agree. And you would think that this was such a tight ship and that there were so many systems or mechanisms in place to make sure that this didn't happen. Additionally, you would think that this was brought to light a little bit sooner.
Yeah.
It's a risky situation because these are soldiers. And they can't, essentially, they've probably taken an oath, and that oath makes it very clear that they can't go against their government, so they aren't going to.
Right. It was a doctor, one of the doctors at the hospital that, at least in Phoenix, that exposed the story.
Right.
It wasn't.
And that's how it should have been. None of these soldiers should have had to do that.
Right.
And he waited till he retired.
Good. So there was no risk. I hope that
try to make sure
he survives the end of this.
Right, exactly.
Story.
He keep getting his retirement check.
He gets a retirement check.
Yes.
But
his pension.
But I mean, it's disheartening. But come on, is it surprising? It ain't surprising though. Come on, man.
Yeah.
It's really not surprising.
No, not at all.
Not surprising at all. It is the feds. And they mean well.
Yeah.
But they typically don't do well.
But this is the thing I don't understand. Oh, the war, yeah, pro-war. If you said anything, oh, I'm against the war. You're against the country. But they come back home and can't go to the doctor. See, but it goes back to the hypocrisy. Now, on one end, everybody in the herd is send them over here and right all this wrong. But when they come home, if they get mental diseases, they end up homeless. We stepping over them on the street. We don't care if they go to the doctor. It's I don't know. That's why I don't get it. That's why anybody that's these days that sign up for the military willingly, more power to you. Because they letting you know what's gonna happen. This is your future, and it's not gonna get better because the money is not coming. There ain't no more money coming in. That's for sure. So it's not getting better.
That's true.
We'll see. Something's got to change, man. The president stepped up today. He talked about it. He said he's going to look into it, fix the situation. We'll give him his opportunity.
What are you going to say? Hey, man, that's on them. Come on.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, hopefully, though, because he's looking into the situation will get better. That's my point.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Oh, I'm sure.
Knock on wood.
Oh, I'm sure.
How much longer you got?
He's got a couple years, man.
All right.
He's got a couple years.
Every look into takes at least a year for the investigation.
Oh, my goodness.
Then another year for implementation.
No.
So the next guy, he's scot-free. He's like, hey, Obama said he was going to do it. I can't help you.
Don't do that. That's not true.
It's true, Miss Burney.
No, it's not. I'm not going to believe that. You're not going to make me either.
It's true, Miss Burney. These things take time, to say the least.
I know they take
time.
They take time, but we have a very urgent president. And I strongly stand behind him and know that he will do the right thing. And hopefully I come back and get to report on what our president has done about this situation.
I believe he wants to do the right thing.
Well, one thing's for sure. He will be quick to sign an executive order if that's what needs to happen.
This is true.
He is very quick to do an executive order. He is the king of executive orders these days.
Well, that's what they're there for.
Especially nowadays.
Yes, because he says he's dealing with this do-nothing Congress, he calls it.
If you got the power, you might as well use it.
Yeah.
Especially if it's for something good.
Is that right?
And for a couple of things that's not so good, just for your amusement. You
got
the job. Come on.
For your amusement.
What are you there for? You got the job. Come on.
Oh, my goodness.
It's like, hey, if I'm Chris Paul, I'm the point guard. I got to shoot every now and again.
On principle, huh?
On principle.
On principle. That's one thing I need to do, though. I got to make it, I want to compare the executive orders that he signed compared to other presidents. I'm curious. Because he seems to, I get the idea that the power is there to do that, but I wonder how often that power is used.
Well,
and is he outside of the realm of that use of power?
When you also do that comparison, make sure that you compare the Congresses that were accompanying those presidents also.
That's
yes,
very
ma'am.
important.
I will look into that.
Thank you. I want you to be thorough in your investigation.
That's right. Get them right. Get them right.
She wants to make sure I don't create slander. If you
Yes.
Slander without fact, she says. Okay. Like them 20-something pages they found on Miss Walton.
Those are court documents now. You can't overlook that kind of stuff.
No, you can't.
The courts don't lie. They
No.
have no reason to.
I'm still tripping on the 26th.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. My bad.
Oh man, we're winding down here, man. We want to thank y'all for listening and tuning in to Real Family Talk. Remember, we're here every Wednesday, 9 p.m. We want to thank Miss Burney for stopping by, man. Jeremy, appreciate having you, man. This is Jay Real signing off until next week. RealFamilyTalk.com is the website, y'all. You can follow us on Facebook, Real Family Talk. You can follow us on Twitter, Real Family Talk. The website, realfamilytalk.weebly.com.
WOKB, Winter Garden, Orlando.